Estas son fresas de altura, fresas de muy buen tamaño, de un sabor delicioso, súper dulces, y son fresas orgánicas, producidas aquí en el Verdegal.
Compassionate viewers, welcome to Animal World, our co-inhabitants. This episode features the first in a two-part series about a very heartening global trend. Farmers are switching away from raising livestock and are finding peaceable livelihoods. Today we'll visit former livestock farmers from the United States, Mexico, Costa Rica, Formosa or Taiwan, Olac or Vietnam, and Iran, and learn some of the reasons they made the courageous, noble decision to change careers. Why did these farmers previously raise livestock? In some cases they began simply because that was what their fathers had done before them, and they learned this form of livelihood as they grew up. Also, many times the father expects his children to take over the family farm.
No, siendo de familia lechera desde que nací. Y desde pequeño ordeñaba las vacas. Después, más adelante, mi tata nos dio un terreno para que trabajáramos solos ya cuando nos casamos. Y empecé a incrementar la lechería, a hacer un tipo semi-estabulado.
Sí, mi padre fue ganadero, él tuvo su rancho. Mi padre fallece y yo todavía era joven. Entonces ya me empecé a hacer yo más cargo del rancho, mientras que mi mamá, como la dueña, comercializaba con los animales. Ella los vendía a otras personas para la cría o para el sacrificio.
My family historically have been pig farmers right here in Ohio.
De niño acostumbraba en vacaciones visitar a mi abuelo. Él tenía un rancho ganadero y agrícola. Entonces desde muy pequeño me familiaricé conviviendo con el medio ambiente, con la naturaleza. Posteriormente, mi padre compra un rancho.
I spent most of my life in agriculture. I grew up on a cattle farm in Michigan.
Many of these former farmers had financially successful operations, but after a while they became deeply troubled by several aspects of their work, including the enormous cruelty involved in animal farming.
شاید به جرئت بگم که 6 ماه هنوز نگذشته بود که یه دونه از دامهام سر زایش، یه دونه از استخونای پاش شکست و دام زمینگیر شد و این زایه چنان رو من تأثیر بد گذاشت که کم کم به این فکر افتادم که خب اگر این بخواد که باز هم تکرار بشه، چون دام هم همه در حال زایش بودن و سوالی هم که از دامپزشک کردم گفتش که در اثر کمبود کلسیوم برای دامهایی که معمولا زایش دوم، سوم و چهارم دارن همچین اتفاقی میفته و این زایه واسم خیلی سنگین بود.
اونجا من شاهد بودم که حیوانات تو رنج و عذاب بودن و زمانی که حیوانات رو برای فروش می‌بردیم اینا ما رو یه طوری نگاه می‌کردن که یکی از اعضای خانواده ما می‌خواست بره و من اون صحنه‌ها رو نمیتونستم تحمل کنم. اون صحنه‌ها برام یک عذاب بود.
Nói chung thì nuôi heo thì cũng có gặp nhiều cái trở ngại. Ví dụ con heo bệnh thì nguyên nhân mình cũng không biết. Rồi khi mua thuốc về chích thì mình lo lắng, mình chăm sóc nó bệnh thì mình cũng bệnh theo luôn. Tôi thấy nó cũng xót xa lắm, vì nó không nói được.
Tại vì mỗi khi lần bán đi mình thấy nó trở ra rồi nó đảo vô, nó không muốn đi, là cũng như nó quyến luyến mình rồi. Là mình không có muốn người ta phải sát hại nó ra rồi người ta cột chân cột tay, mình suy nghĩ tới điều đó nữa. Trời ơi, tối nay chắc nó chết rồi. Thì cũng cầu nguyện kỹ lắm luôn. Mỗi lần bán là mỗi lần đau cả tháng luôn á. Chưa hết á. Ông mới nói phiên ông xã nói thôi anh ơi thì mình nghỉ đi, đừng có nuôi nữa.
How did these individuals condition themselves to ignore the horrendous treatment and eventual murder of the tender farm animals under their care?
I had this immediate mental image of a light switch right over my heart. I call it my compassion switch. And I could turn this compassion switch on and off depending on circumstances. Turn it on for some animals, turn it off for the ones I had to butcher, turn my compassion off, to turn my love off, to turn my empathy and sympathy off. It was 3 words, a phrase. And if I had the power to take this phrase out of the English language, I would. But it was the phrase, I don't care. Anytime I had to do something that I thought was objectionable, something that I thought was not right, I would just say, I don't care. So that I could do whatever needed to be done, whether it was to kill them and butcher them, to eat them. If I had an emotional connection with that animal, but I ended up butchering it and eating it, I'd feel, yeah, but I don't care. I need to eat.
When we return, we'll learn more about why farmers are going away from raising livestock and instead embracing peaceful and loving careers. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.
We have pets and we love them. They're so dear to us. And we would never think of eating a cat or a dog. But we have no problem with other animals, whether they're free living animals or domesticated animals, like cows. It's this dichotomy, it's this double standard that we have, that one is worthy of our regard and the other is not. One is worthy of our love and the other is not.
Welcome back to Animal World, our co-inhabitants, as we continue our program about why livestock farmers are leaving the animal agriculture industry. Many are profoundly concerned about the devastating effects on health arising from production and consumption of animal products. Countless studies have shown that meat consumption can result in heart disease, cancer, diabetes and obesity, and many highly infectious diseases originate from livestock as well. One such illness transferred from cows to humans through unpasteurized milk, cheese or other dairy products is brucellosis. Those who become ill with brucellosis may experience fever, sweating, weakness, anemia, headaches, depression, and muscular and bodily pain. The duration of these symptoms can last for weeks, months, or even become chronic.
Manejaba 40 vacas semiestabuladas y en eso me ofrecieron un hato completo de lechería de una que iban a quitar. La negociamos, la metimos dentro de la finca y como 3 años después nos dimos cuenta que el toro que venía con eso y las vacas estaban infectadas de brucelosis. Como venía toro, entonces me infectó todo el hato.
Livestock can spread extremely contagious diseases like bird flu and even cause pandemics such as swine flu. Pollution is a grave concern as well. In 1995, a 3.25 hectare manure lagoon in North Carolina, USA burst, releasing 97.6 million litres of sewage into the New River. The event was the largest environmental spill in US history, more than twice as large as the Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989. Consequently, millions of fish perished along with all other beings living in the river. Drinking water often becomes contaminated with nitrates and phosphorus from the manure that is generated. In addition, many suffer from respiratory illnesses from the fouled air, and some even experience psychological problems such as depression, arising from living in degraded surroundings.
Lý do gì chị lại chuyển nghề vậy?
Lý do là thấy đài phát thanh mỗi sáng là cứ phát lên là H1N1 lây sang người, rồi thấy ảnh hưởng môi trường xung quanh đây, rồi nguồn nước thải ra cho bà con ở đây, mình tự mình ái nái muốn vậy thôi, nghỉ chuyển nghề.
Tôi thấy hiện nay thì cái đài truyền hình trên thế giới báo là cái H1N1 nó ảnh hưởng tới sức khỏe của người rất nhanh. Rồi giả lợi chất thải của gia súc hàng ngày á, rồi tôi thấy nó ô nhiễm cái nguồn nước và cái cộng đồng xung quanh, trước là sức khỏe mình rồi sau nữa cộng đồng. Trước kia tôi chăn nuôi heo thì chất thải của heo đưa ra thì nó bị viêm phổi này kia, rồi vợ con thì nói chung sức khỏe nó yếu, rồi tinh thần nó cũng không được vui vẻ mấy.
The former farmers also felt very uneasy about the slaughter of gentle farm animals.
You can't humanely kill a human being, so why would anybody think you can humanely kill an animal? You can't. It's a word that shouldn't be equated with anything that has to do with an animal food product. If you look at Webster's dictionary, it defines the word humane with 3 words. It says to show kindness, compassion, and mercy. That's humane. And I think most people would agree with that. You can't kill humanely. It just can't be done.
Animals on livestock farms are kept in severely overcrowded conditions, standing 24 hours a day in their own filth, and are fed antibiotics to grow faster and produce even more milk or eggs. The drugs are also given because the animals' immune systems are extremely weak due to the constant stress they experience. They are very susceptible to the diseases that are rife in their sordid surroundings. The goal is to keep the animal alive, even if just barely, until they can be fully exploited for their milk or eggs, and then finally slaughtered. A study in the US found that 70% of pigs had pneumonia by the time they reached the slaughterhouse. This use of antibiotics also gives rise to drug-resistant bacteria. It thus makes it even more difficult to find an effective antibiotic for treatment if people are infected by these same bacteria.
در دراز مدت دچار انواع بیماری‌های مختلف میشد که حتی با تزریق انواع آنتیبیوتیک حیوان جواب نمیداد. یعنی انواع مختلفش آنتیبیوتیک میزدیم، حیوان نمیتونست سرپا باشه و دچار مرگ میشد.
When I look at the factory farms, they can only be described as an abomination to me, both health-wise and from an environmental standpoint. In addition, it's a virtual breeding ground for all diseases. Swine flu, bird flu, all these really aren't inherent they're not inherent in pigs. Pigs actually are one of the cleanest animals on the planet.
Unable to bear the inhumane treatment, filthy conditions and diseases involved in raising livestock any longer, many courageous individuals like Mr. Su of Formosa or Taiwan decided that they must make a change.
到2000年遐，我就甲拢甲收起来，开始就做一寡产品环保的工课，甲一年几啊百万的收入，拢总甲做甲免钱吼。但是咱若只做一项物件啊，对的吼，你要坚持。
We are truly grateful to these courageous, compassionate farmers for their efforts to protect human health, help animals and heal the planet by turning away from raising livestock and adopting eco-friendly lifestyles. Tomorrow on part 2 of our program we'll learn more about why they're making the shift and what words of advice they have for the world. We appreciate your kind presence today on Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Up next is enlightening entertainment after noteworthy news. May your life be blessed with ever greater wisdom, joy and peace.
For more details, please see www.suprememastertv.com/AW.